In Madden 22, holding to 3 down in the red zone can be considered by some to be a defensive stop. We all know that getting stops in general is very, very difficult, and the difference between winning and losing can be holding to 3 instead of 7. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to shut down the goal line offense out of my nickel triple defensive formation. Let's go ahead and get into it. What is up, guys? Ian from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to show you guys a way to slow down the goal line offense, hopefully allow yourself to come away with 3 points allowed down in the red zone on defense rather than giving up a touchdown for 7. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We are in the nickel triple defense, and this is in the Baltimore Ravens. Those 4 playbooks have a number of great defensive sets out of nickel personnel that you can audible between, and the nickel triple is my favorite defense in Madden 22. In fact, you guys can check out my nickel defensive game plan on gridirongameplans.gg. The nickel triple game plan is included with your membership for $9.95 a month. Get access to the entire website. And every single week, we go over the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online gameplay. Also included with your membership is access to our Discord, where we will also have live lab sessions once a week throughout the NFL season. So hopefully I will see you guys over there in the Discord. Otherwise, let's go ahead and take it to the practice field. So the 2 main plays that I would say you have to worry about with the goal line are going to be the QB sneak and the fullback dive. Some players will run the toss, but with the agility of the running backs being a little bit less, it's tougher to kind of just wiggle and make a guy miss in the open field out on the perimeter. So people try to basically fall forward with this goal line. And what you're going to need to do here with this is there's a couple ways that you can set this up. If you know that your opponent is going with QB sneak, just simply calling the nickel triple Tampa 2 is a great way to counter this, because what you can do is kind of just user this middle linebacker. And the really cool thing about this nickel triple formation is on the QB sneak, they do not block this nose tackle. The center will dive at that nose tackle's legs, miss him, and regardless of whether or not the quarterback sneak is playmaker to the left or the right, he is going to risk taking a hit. Oftentimes he will take a hit, and that can result in some fumbles, which is absolutely huge if you guys can get that to happen. But as you're going to see right here, I'm just going to control Demario Davis at the middle linebacker position. And with Tom Brady, we're going to try to fall forward, and you see how he takes a hit from Cameron Jordan. So let's go ahead and look at the replay with this. So as you can see, this is the matchup that is the difference maker for the nickel triple defense. When you notice that the center snaps the ball, he's going to dive, trying to cut out the legs of the nose tackle, while Tom Brady, the quarterback, is trying to burrow in behind him and dive into that A gap to the left. This animation oftentimes results in the nose tackle being able to stand up the quarterback, and this hit has an increased chance of a fumble. So what you're going to see here is that this is not going to get any yards, and there's a chance to fumble, which is all that you can honestly ask for as a defensive player. Now, as I mentioned, this is also a defense where if the quarterback sneak gets playmakered from the right A gap into the left A gap, the center will still not block our nose tackle. Now, if we took a look at our play art, you can see that our nose tackle is blitzing to the right, but for some reason, it still behaves the same way, and he's going to be able to shed instantly and be on the quarterback. So again, here, I'm going to playmaker the quarterback sneak to the left, and you see that the center completely misses his block, and he's going to risk taking a hit. Really, there's no gain at all being occurring right here, because again, the contact of the nose tackle on this quarterback is immediate, so he's not going to be able to fall forward or hit the ground and fall into the end zone. It's basically he's being touched while he's going to the ground, and the ball's going to be marked short. So you're either taking a hit like you see right there, or you're being marked short for barely an inch, if that. And this is such an inviting front to, you know, kind of run a quarterback sneak on, because it's not pinched. And the irony is, if we were to pinch this up like this, somebody would probably shy away from the quarterback sneak, but the quarterback sneak is actually better against that look than it is against the stock alignment of this defense. So again, all you really have to do with this is just call cover 2 and just stand here with your middle linebacker. Now, the cover 3 is also a play that you can call out of this, but I want to draw attention to a different alignment of our defensive line when we call this. So if you kind of take a look here, you're going to notice the main difference being that you have this defensive tackle and defensive end stacked right next to each other. Whereas if we're in the cover 2, you notice that the defensive end is over an extra gap, leaving basically this right tackle uncovered. So there are pros to this. So I'm going to go right back into this. I would say that the best part about this is that if your opponent wants to run power O, you've got 2 bodies right here. In the off chance that they do try to run that on you, that is probably the weak spot of this defense, or honestly would be the power O. But you can see here having those 2 bodies can help, you know, kind of plug that lane where it's trying to run. And then with your user, you can kind of shoot into that gap. So, you know, just kind of want to add a little bit of a setup here into this video that I really wasn't planning on talking about. But you see right here that with number 78, number 65 occupied, we basically have an opportunity to shoot into this gap on the power O. We almost actually got the job done there with Demario Davis, but nonetheless, we kind of clogged that lane pretty well with the cover 3 defense. Whereas if we were in the cover 2, where that defensive end was kind of stacked out there, and they wanted to run that power O, this is actually a lot more of a daunting task for us. You see that they should go inside of that block. The gap shoot is the same, but obviously where the hole is for the offense is different. So when you're in this alignment, they're going to have to bounce that power O kind of outside. And when you're in the cover 2, they want to stay inside of the pulling block. In general, the power O is actually an inside run, but most players try to bounce it outside, which is actually really not its intent. So just kind of be aware of that. You know, this is something that you can do. Obviously, you know, with the power O against cover 3, they're going to have to go outside. And again, with the power O against the cover 2, which I'm going to show you one more time here, they're looking to probably hit inside. So as far as your user goes, just kind of understand that if you're in the cover 2, you want to fly into that hole right there to make that tackle, because that's where they're going to have to cut to make this work. Now that leaves us with the last run and probably the most important run of the goal line offense, and that is the fullback dive. The fullback dive is one of those plays that I would recommend cover 3 against, simply because I think that with this, we're going to be able to get that nose tackle diving animation on the quarterback from this alignment. It's still the same blitz angle. You can still stack your middle linebacker right here. But what I like to do with this, and you're going to have to practice this, is you're going to have to take this safety and kind of hide down here in between these 2 defensive ends. Oh, I'm sorry, the defensive tackle and the defensive end. And with this particular play, you're actually going to kind of play peekaboo and shoot flat into this A gap right here. And this is the same gap shoot regardless of fullback dive left or right. So I'm going to start off here with fullback dive going away from our user. And you're going to have to practice this, but you're going to learn. And you see right there, we were actually able to get a shed from our defensive tackle right there. If you want to know the ability on that, I believe that Jordan has inside stuff, possibly goal line stuff. But that is something that you can equip on your nose tackle if you want. It won't happen every time, especially if they go and they double team him. He probably won't shed. But again, the trick here is kind of learning where to stand. If you stand too close to the line, they can block you. If you stand too close to the hole, they can block you. So you're gonna have to kind of mess with this. I think back a little bit and maybe off the outside hip of Tuttle is probably your target. And you're just gonna learn how to fly in. You see how that lane opened up. Now, again, you're seeing right there that our goal line stuff or inside stuff, whatever ability it is that Cameron Jordan has, is actually heavily carrying us on the fullback dive. So that is something that you can factor in as well with this. If you want to run that, go ahead. But again, you see right here how you can kind of hit him from behind if you shoot that gap. So let's go ahead and look at the replay, because I think that's always key when you have a positive rep. Go into there, kind of zoom out, look up over the top of everything and see what you did right. So again, our user is the player with the blue circle under him. I'm going to remove that circle right now. And our angle that we shoot is basically, it's outside shoulder of number 65. So we want to make sure that we shoot outside shoulder of 65, and then we can make a dive tackle from behind. You see right there, we tripped him up and we're able to get that tackle. So let's go ahead and do that again here. So you kind of want to mirror that spot. Again, if you're uncertain, go back into your replay, kind of look and see how far back we were. Kind of looks like we were just a little bit closer to the line than the middle linebacker. So you try to mimic that as much as possible to make sure that your gap shoots are going to be pretty close. So again, we were kind of standing right here at the middle linebacker, kind of right here with him. And you want to shoot in outside shoulder of 65. So here it goes. You make that tackle. You're into the backfield. Easy tackle for loss, right? Now, I mentioned that this exact same strategy can be used on the fullback dive to the right. So we're going to do basically the exact same thing, kind of stand right here. Again, here's the fullback dive, this time to the right. And we're going to try to find out where that hole is. It might not work the first time, but we'll make adjustments from there. So again, kind of shooting off of that same example here, we're going to fly down right there. Didn't do so hot, right? So we have to kind of take a look and think, okay, what is our opponent doing here that is going to allow us to shoot the gap? So you go ahead and you look at the replay menu. And the first thing that stands out to me is that number 66 is firing out and trying to make a block on us. So maybe we go ahead and say, well, can we make a change here? Blitz Davis through the A gap, which I know you can't see, but he's actually in a blitzing assignment. And then can we stand in that same spot and maybe get a different result? So when we do that, all of a sudden we're able to shoot in and get the tackle. So those are visual cues that you should be looking at. Well, hey, if this guy is uncharacteristically blocking me, can I, make a blitzing angle with a teammate that can make him target that guy? And if so, then, that might open up the lane that we want to shoot. Or if they decide to block us, you see right there that we were able to get that tackle as well. So, in that example, we blitzed the middle linebacker and he shot the fullback dive on his own. So again, we kind of show this to you right there. He shot the wrong gap, and that's okay. But again, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to, the specifics. Where are you standing? How is your blitz angle? Are you pursuing correctly? Again, kind of shooting to the outside shoulder of 65 has been our key. Right there, I got clogged up again. So it's going to take practice. The fullback dive is definitely the toughest of the group. But I think that this is a very promising defensive formation simply because it doesn't give up a ton in terms of the pass. I think that the fact that you can call cover 3, maybe shade underneath to take away the quick dump to the fullback out of the backfield off a play action is nice. You've got an outside third for the tight end corner, and you're there in a spot in the middle where you can kind of play the drags and the things like that. And you're bringing pressure up the middle, so they can't just scramble right up the middle off the play action or, any of that. So, all in all, this is a pretty sound defense. This is something that you can add into the nickel triple game plan that is on gridirongameplans.gg right now. Again, guys, $9.95 a month gives you access to the entire website. That's the Salty Gun Bunch offset game plan, the Ragusa 6 quick pistol out of the Ravens offense, the nickel triple game plan with over 2 hours of defensive content, defensive tackle A gaps, linebacker B gaps, disengage setups, coverage tricks, run defense, all kinds of stuff, audible tricks. So much that you guys can use to help get more stops in Madden 22. And that doesn't include the vault, but your membership does. So you guys will get access to the entire vault with, at least 4 to 5 videos every single week, keeping you fresh on the meta and letting you know what's going on in competitive Madden and how to counter those things. So make sure that you guys go check out gridirongameplans.gg. I'm actually going to be adding this goal line run scheme into that game plan. So I hit you guys with it first here on the YouTube channel. I hope you guys liked it. And if you did, definitely go check out the rest of it because that defense absolutely screams at the quarterback. Until next time, guys, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.